Imagine standing in front of a door that has been shrouded in mystery for decades, its existence a mere whisper among the brave and the curious. A door that seems to be calling to you, its secrets and mysteries waiting to be unleashed like a Pandora's box of terror. What if I told you that I stumbled upon such a door, hidden behind a facade of normalcy and deception? A door that seems to pulse with an eerie energy, as if it's alive and waiting for me to turn the handle. The question is, what could be hiding on the other side? Is it a doorway to another dimension, a portal to the unknown, or a gateway to a realm of unspeakable horrors? The dare was simple. Open the door and face what's on the other side. But as I stood there, my heart racing with anticipation, I realized that some secrets are better left unspoken. The air was thick with an unsettling presence, and I could feel the weight of unseen eyes upon me. And yet, I couldn't resist. I had to know what was on the other side. I had to uncover the truth. But as I reached out to turn the handle, I felt a chill run down my spine. What if I wasn't alone? What if something was waiting for me on the other side? Something that would change my life forever? What if the door was not just a door, but a threshold to a world of madness and terror? This is the story of how I unleashed a horror beyond my wildest imagination. A terror that will haunt me for the rest of my life. But be warned, once you know the truth, you can't unknow it. And once you've seen the darkness that lurks beyond the door, you'll never be able to look at the world in the same way again. So, do you dare to open the door and face what's on the other side? I never thought I'd be the type to break into someone's house. I'm not a rebel, not a troublemaker. But on that fateful night, something inexplicable took hold of me. A morbid curiosity, a thrill of the unknown, and a dare from my friends that I couldn't resist. The house at the end of the street had always been a mystery, a place of dark legend and whispered rumors. They said it was abandoned, a relic of a bygone era, but the flickering lights and strange noises that emanated from it at odd hours suggested otherwise. My friends goaded me, egging me on to uncover the truth, and I found myself powerless to resist the temptation. What started as a laugh, a joke, a foolish dare, quickly turned into a descent into darkness, a journey into the heart of madness. And what I discovered that night would haunt me forever, a chilling reminder that some secrets are better left unspoken. As I stood before the house, a sense of trepidation washed over me, like a cold wind whispering warnings in my ear. The rumors of curses and disappearances swirled in my mind, but I tried to shake them off, telling myself they were just small-town legends. Yet the feeling of unease lingered, like a shadow on the wall, refusing to be ignored. My biggest concern, or so I thought, was getting caught by the authorities, the neighbors, or whoever might be lurking in the darkness. But as I approached the house, its decrepit facade seemed to loom over me, like a specter of doom, warning me to turn back while I still could. I had spent hours preparing for this moment, dressing in dark clothes, arming myself with a flashlight, and donning gloves to avoid leaving any incriminating evidence behind. But as I stepped onto the creaking porch, the wooden boards groaning beneath my feet, I felt a sense of dread creeping up my spine. Every sound seemed amplified in the stillness of the night, the rustling of leaves, the hooting of owls, and the creaking of the old wooden beams. I hesitated at the door, my heart racing with anticipation, as the dare and my curiosity wrestled for control. The darkness seemed to be watching me, waiting for me to make my move, and I knew that once I stepped inside, there would be no turning back. As I stepped inside, the air enveloped me like a damp shroud, heavy with the stench of mildew and something metallic that made my skin crawl. The dust that coated every surface seemed to swallow the light, making it feel like I was wading through a thick fog. But it was the furniture that really caught my attention. Plates stacked on the table, a coat slung over a chair, as if the occupants had just stepped out for a moment. The sense of abandonment was eerie, like I was intruding on a private moment that had been frozen in time. I moved cautiously, my flashlight casting eerie shadows on the walls as I swept it from side to side. The symbols etched into the walls seemed to pulse with a malevolent energy, and the old photographs scattered on the floor, their faces scratched out with a brutal intensity, only added to the sense of unease. The deeper I ventured, the more I felt like I was being herded towards some unknown fate, the weight of unseen eyes upon me. And then I heard it. A whisper, faint at first but growing louder, more insistent. It was a soft, raspy voice, like the rustling of dry leaves, and it seemed to be calling to me, drawing me deeper into the heart of the house. My body froze, every instinct screaming at me to turn back, to flee from the darkness that seemed to be coalescing around me. But I couldn't. I had to know what was making that sound, what was waiting for me in the depths of the house. I climbed the stairs, each creaking step echoing through the silence like a death knell. The whispering grew louder, more distinct, until I reached a door at the end of the hall. It was slightly ajar, and the light inside flickered like a dying candle, casting eerie shadows on the walls. I felt a sense of trepidation, a sense of foreboding, as I pushed the door open and stepped into the unknown. As I pushed the door open, my flashlight cast a weak beam of light into the room, illuminating a scene that made my blood freeze in my veins. A figure stood in the corner, its back to me, its head cocked at an unnatural angle. The whispering ceased, and the silence that followed was oppressive, like a physical weight that pressed down on me. I tried to speak, but my voice was barely a whisper, a faint stammer that seemed to hang in the air. "Who's there?" I managed to croak, my words echoing off the walls. The figure didn't flinch, didn't move, didn't acknowledge my presence in any way, and then, slowly, it began to turn. Its face was a twisted nightmare, a grotesque parody of human features. The eyes were black as coal, empty voids that seemed to suck all the light out of the room. I stumbled backward, my flashlight slipping from my fingers as I desperately tried to get away from the horror that stood before me. The darkness closed in around me, a suffocating shroud that threatened to consume me whole. I heard footsteps, slow and deliberate, coming closer and closer. They were heavy, measured steps, the kind that seemed to shake the very foundations of the house. I scrambled to pick up my flashlight, my hand shaking as I fumbled for the device. When I finally managed to turn it back on, the room was empty. The figure was gone, vanished into thin air. But the feeling of being watched was stronger than ever, a crawling sensation that seemed to seep into my bones. I didn't wait to find out what would happen next. I turned and ran, bolting down the stairs and out of the house as fast as I could. I didn't dare look back, didn't dare glance over my shoulder to see if I was being followed. I just kept running, my heart pounding in my chest, until I was sure I was safe. The nights that followed were sleepless, haunted by the memories of what I had seen. The experience had left me shaken, my perception of reality forever altered. I couldn't shake the feeling that I had glimpsed something that was never meant to be seen, something that lurked just beyond the edge of our everyday world. Was it a ghost, a malevolent spirit, or just a product of my own fevered imagination? I may never know the truth, but one thing is certain. That house had changed me, had made me realize that some secrets are better left unspoken, and that the line between curiosity and danger is perilously thin. As I look back on that fateful night, I'm reminded that some places are abandoned for a reason, and that some mysteries are better left unsolved. The memory of what I saw and what I felt inside those walls will stay with me forever, a haunting reminder of the horrors that lurk in the shadows. So, I ask you, have you ever had an experience that left you questioning the very fabric of reality? Share your story in the comments below, and let's delve into the unknown together. Until next time, stay curious, but beware. For in the darkness, terror lurks, waiting to pounce. Thank you for watching this chilling story. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more terrifying tales. Explore other genres of horror and scary stories on this channel. There's something to keep every horror fan awake at night. Hit the notification bell so you never miss a new upload.